My people of this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough.
This is the Patriots Prayer Podcast. It's a tremendous show, one of the greatest shows in the history of the world.
This is Bryson Gray, and you are watching the Patriots Prayer.
PTN, you're doing the right thing.
On the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
PPN on your bumper.
I'm Tom MacDonald. This is the Patriot Prayers Network. Check it out. Lots of good TV. Lots of cool people. Tune in. Keep it locked.
I'm a white boy with the middle fingers in the air, dog. We don't give a what. 100 white boys gonna hold me down anywhere, dog. We think that you suck. My Patriots, the craziest. They ain't afraid of breaking fists on faces. If you really wanna taste of this, no safety tip. The same mistake and spray the clip. I pray you miss, cause if you don't, they gon' go wacko. Automatic gun smoke like tobacco. Never hit a lady, but it's pretty hard to tell if you're a girl or a they, them. There's these, that, those. I ain't never gonna take a knee for the anthem. Smack them. I don't give a damn, can't stand them. Gang full of randoms. Fan with a handgun. Run up in your mansion, leave it all abandoned. I was raised to be brave to the grave. United States, we love the country that they've been corrupting. Go woke and go broker if you ain't awake. My people of this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags. American flags. And every time we pull up, all you...
What's going on, people? Welcome to a special edition of the Patriot Prayer Podcast. My co-host joining me today, obviously the native patriot. We just call Maurice around here. And we got Michaelah Montgomery on the upper right there. You know, Michaelah just made like crazy national news, she got truthed out by Donald Trump, running around down there with Byron Donalds doing big things. And we have Theotis and Agent DJ Daniels in the upper left-hand corner joining us today. Secret Service Agent DJ Daniels up there. How is it going? What's going on up there, DJ? How's it feel to be an agent? You lock anybody up yet? Because I got some people you might want to lock up. AOC, Jasmine Crockett. We just seen her assault somebody on TV the other day. Maybe you could go lock her up. You hear us?
Uh-oh.
I think they're having problems with their sound.
That's unfortunate. They may have to go out and
they may have to rejoin. They may have to rejoin.
Yeah, while they do that, I got a list of exes that DJ could go ahead and snatch up for me as well. Apprehend them all.
Yeah.
You got
we can hear you right now, though. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, DJ? Can you hear us, Theotis?
What we got going on?
It never fails. It never fails.
I'm frozen. We're not getting no connection over here. What's going on?
I'm gonna call them and tell them to rejoin.
All right.
You guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, Michaelah, you got a lot of things going on right now. I know that. You're like a big shot now, aren't you?
I'm still Michaelah, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of things. So what are you doing? Where are you at these days?
So I was just up in DC. I did want to work in the DOE, and so now that the dismantlement process has started and all the federal offices are closed, I didn't really see the point in staying in DC while that works itself out, because if you don't know, DC is crazy expensive to live. Also, being a single mom, I don't really have a village in DC like I do in Atlanta. So I was like, I'm just going to come back to Atlanta while that works itself out. But in the meantime, of course, we have Byron running in this historic gubernatorial race, and I'm very, very, very excited to help him, get across that finish line. And then, of course, we also have down in Georgia a gubernatorial race as well, and I will be throwing my support behind Burt Jones. And I think these are two very, very important and critical races to pay attention to. I mean, Florida is not a swing state, but Georgia is. However, there's so many business and industrial and redevelopment opportunities available in Florida that I think that being able to bring more business to the state, being able to help the people who currently live there by means of, fixing up some of the infrastructure, I think that's great. And that's a lot of the things that Byron Donald stands on. Additionally, um, Florida is really big on education, and I really love, the fact that Byron's platform is heavy on education. So I'm just, working like I usually do, just
I
always
gotta give
busy.
Bert. I gotta give Bert Jones a call. Um, I gotta give him a call because I got his number. Michaelah made that happen. He gave me his personal number. I'm gonna reach out to him and see if we can't get him on the podcast. I'd love to talk to him, especially now that these races are starting and it's really popping off. But on the Byron Jones issue, no, before we even get to that, you're. I seen the interview the other day, and you were talking about you were defending the closure of the Department of Education, and you did it quite well. People don't realize that it's a bureaucracy that was never needed. We were what 26. Now we're 26th in the world for education. We were number one before this started, and it has not helped anybody. But for the people out there to say, "Oh, the kids ain't going to get free lunch at school anymore, and the disabled kids ain't going to get the help you need," what do you got to tell people about what's really going to happen now that the Department of Education is going to be closing? How is that going to impact kids, or tell them why it's actually not going to impact kids, or why it will be better?
Yeah, so the fear that certain kids will go without, i.e., kids who don't have food at home or kids who have a learning disability, will for whatever reason be forgotten about, is just 1000% misinformation. So to start, disabled, or not necessarily just disabled kids, but kids with learning disabilities, i.e., the ones on an IEP or a 504, those services will now be overseen by the Department of Health and Human Services, which, as you guys know, is led by our good friend RFK. The rise in autism and learning disorder diagnoses,
Yeah,
whatever the
you try
plural form
again.
of diagnosis is.
So
It's very alarming, and RFK has been very, very vocal about that. So I think that's the perfect department for it to move to, so we can really study not just what these kids need, but what's causing them to have these needs. Because when y'all know, y'all older than me, when y'all were kids,
you like
we
to
didn't
say
have
that,
these
don't you?
issues like we do now. Additionally, when you think about, these kids who don't have food at home, how they're going to go hungry. Number one, school meals are handled by the Department of Agriculture. And I can assure you all that Brooke Rollins is not going to let any child go hungry. Another factor to think about is the same people who are screaming, "Oh my God, these kids don't have food at home." Typically, those kids are enrolled in some form of government assistance. If your fear is they don't have food at home, more than likely that parent is getting food stamps or WIC. So I think we should also address what it is that these parents are buying with these EBT cards, because how is it that any child is going hungry? If you can't afford to buy food, there are resources out there to help you. We have
Yeah.
a lot of school districts also opening up food pantries and other things like that. So I really hate hearing the argument that children are going to go hungry, because one, again, it's handled by the Department of Agriculture and not the Department of Education. But two, what are you guys doing locally to address that issue if you guys know for a fact that there are kids in school, in class, with rumbling bellies? Another thing is, a lot of people assume that the Pell Grant would go away because that's handled by DOE. That's being moved over to the Department of Treasury. So now it's like, you guys, we're opening the floodgate for more resources and more attention to be brought to these specific issues that everybody is dealing with, rather than everybody scrambling to get a case seen by the DOE.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, the thought of student loans. What's going to happen with student loans? I guess that means it's just going to be abolished. Aha, psych. It's actually going over to the SBA, and my good friend Kelly Loeffler is going to make sure that she does everything in her power to ensure that student loan debt is not something that holds you back from achieving the American dream. So honestly, the changes that are coming are are amazing. Another thing that I want to point out, because I'm not afraid to be vocal about it, is it's about time that Republicans go ahead and admit their fault when it came to the No Child Left Behind Act, because a lot of the reasons why these children are not proficient and they're being passed along even though they can't read is because of that law. Now, mind you, that is enforced by DOE. So guess what happens when you give the power back to the states? Now the states are able to say, if this kid can't read, they are not moving forward. If this kid is not proficient, they are not receiving a diploma. As of right now, teachers do not have the ability to actually put their foot down and ensure that these children are being enriched by the education system. They do not have the ability to ensure that their students understand information. Right now, we have a bunch of kids who are just memorizing information, and that does nothing for anybody, because you can memorize it for the test, but guess what happens after you take the test? It's gone. The knowledge is gone. It's no longer there. So what we need now is for teachers to actually be able to teach instead of worrying about, oh, I need to make sure I have these proficiency rates. I need to make sure that this many kids pass this test. It shouldn't be about that. Those kids should be equipped with the skills to take these tests regardless. When I was coming up, we all knew what was going to be on that test. And a lot of times we're looking at the test like, oh, this is third grade. Oh, this is fourth grade. The fact that these kids are reading at a third and fourth grade level at 17 is alarming. The fact that kids are no longer able to enjoy the Harry Potter series when they're in elementary school is alarming. And then another thing too, when you look at the country as a whole, the fact that we're advocating to keep dumping money into a system that doesn't work. Y'all sound nuts. Anytime your phone provider don't give you service everywhere you go, what do? You switch it. Anytime the food that you eat, if it's super expensive and you don't like it or it's not giving you the nutritional value that you need, what do? You change your diet. So why are we acting like making these changes is something that's bad? It's been clear that since the 70s, when did the DOE start? I think it was the 60s or the 70s. Whenever it came, it's been bad ever since then. The United States used to be top tier place for education. We used to lead the state. We used to set the standard. Now here we are trying to play catch up with everybody else. There is no reason why we are bending at the knees in terms of education to countries like China, to countries like Canada, to countries like Brazil. Like, not saying anything bad about those countries, but at the end of the day, if everybody looks to the United States for support, what are we going to say 40 years from now when that very support system cannot read, cannot write, does not understand cursive, so they can't read historical documents? Like, these are all very alarming and concerning things.
It reminds me of when I hear high school kids read today, it is really, really bad. Even in graduation ceremonies, it sounds like that time when 50 Cent dared Floyd Mayweather to read Dr. Seuss. It was terrible.
But the thing is, we're graduating a bunch of people
quick.
like Floyd Mayweather. Like, we're going to have a society full of Floyd Mayweathers. And, like, y'all kind of are already past the 40, mark. But I'm still in my 20s. I don't want to have a doctor in my
whoa. I'm only 33.
You old.
33. I'm not even in my 30s yet. But all I'm saying is, if I go to the doctor, I expect my doctor, nurse's assistant, CNA, whatever, all of them should be able to read my chart. And all of them should be able to understand what it is, what my medical needs are. We are passing kids who not only cannot read, but we know they're using AI to cheat on their tests. Do y'all feel comfortable going to the doctor knowing that kid skated through medical school on a chat GBT? Come on, you guys. Like, the repercussions that come from making these decisions and normalizing this, just lazy and underdeveloped behavior is what's going to be the reason why everybody dies by 2050. I'm not looking to die by 2050. I'm still going to, look, I'm trying to be young and turned to almost a new millennial.
Yeah. Hey, DJ, can you hear us now, brother?
Yes,
Theotis?
sir.
All right. So
Yes, sir.
I know that y'all wanted to talk to Michaelah. Believe me, I heard it. So we want to give you that opportunity, you guys, to talk. I mean, we told everybody there was going to be a big announcement, but we're going to wait just a few minutes on that, because I believe that announcement is going to be national news. I believe very much that announcement is going to be national news, but Mr. DJ, as I asked you before we lost you there earlier, now that you are an honorary agent, and have you locked anybody up yet? You
No,
arrested
sir.
anyone yet? So we're going to need you to arrest Jasmine Crockett, the whole cast of the Breakfast Club. We need all of them to go to jail. I
can definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to perk walk Charlemagne. Every one of them. Jasmine Crockett the other day assaulted somebody on camera. We seen him. She was standing next to our friend Tim Burchett when she did it. And then she made some nasty comments about DJ and along with the Breakfast Club. Theotis, you heard those comments. What was your thoughts when you heard this?
I just couldn't believe that somebody, nevertheless, especially a person that's been elected to a position to kind of lead the community or the district or the area that they represent, to sit there and make some nasty comments about a 13-year-old that's had 13 brain surgeries and trying to fight for his life. He's terminally ill, and that just really, really broke my heart. I think everybody now should be able to understand that some of these people that's in those elected seats need to go. And then you turn around and backdoor Jasmine Crockett, backdoors not only talking about Devarjaye first, but then turns around and talks about the Honorable Greg Abbott. And that there just took cake for me. I couldn't take it. So I'm very, very upset. But it's very unfair to the very few good Democrats that's out there. The majority makes them look bad right now. So they got a long way to go. So somebody needs to spank them. I guess they act like children. I guess they need Big Daddy to come on through. That's why they have Big T in the house right now, because they can't act right.
You need to take off the belt.
I will say my favorite moment of Trump's address to Congress was just seeing the way that you reacted, Theotis, to seeing DJ get recognized in the way and become an honorary agent. I've watched it probably 100 times at least, because the way that it should be a unifying moment, and I truly don't understand how it's come to this point where the left side of the aisle refuses to acknowledge even young Americans like DJ, who has battled through some harder battles than a lot of Americans have even faced today. And at the young age of 13 years old, I just want to say that was an absolutely beautiful moment. And I'm proud to sit here and talk to you guys because of the way that you not only have stood up for him afterwards, but the way that you guys have stood together and fought through this. So I just want to say thank you guys for joining us. And that I'm really proud to be here with you, because it was an absolutely beautiful moment. Was there any during that entire speech? What was kind of going through your head once DJ finally got became an honorary Secret Service agent?
Can you reiterate that? I lost you there for a second.
Yeah. What was going through your head at that time? Because the moment that you guys had was absolutely beautiful, looking from the outside in. So I just want to know, like, your thoughts and feelings of getting recognized and him and DJ becoming a Secret Service agent.
Well, honestly, we didn't know what was going on. Nobody told us anything.
Oh, really?
We were there just to be guests. Yeah, that's all we were told, that we were personal guests of President Trump and the First Lady. And so we thought we were just going to listen to the speech. None of us knew what was going on until it was happening. And then when it was, I noticed it about the time where President Trump had gotten to Jocelyn's mother and started talking about the wildlife basin and stuff. And I was like, And I was like, wait a minute, now let me go back to the conversation I just had with Jason a second ago about his West Point dream. I said, do you know President Trump? I said, no. Have you studied him? He said, no, sir. I said, you do know that President Trump is like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you're going to get. So I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he sits there and hook you up. He said, you think so? I said, he probably will. And all of a sudden, that's why DJ walked on, gave him a big old 5. But as for us, it was a beautiful moment until I realized nobody was standing up on the other side of the room, flipping signs back and forth, taking off their shirts, acting like a fool, waving canes, doing all kind of bullcrap, trying to ruin it for everybody else. And I said, look at these bunch of immature people that's standing up here, and you want these people to sit there and go to Congress for you? Oh, y'all lost your mind. And I just was like, man, this is this most disrespectful situation I've ever been in a long time. And there's a time and place for everything, but that just wasn't the time and place. You just don't grow. You can't protest in the courtroom. Try it and see what happens. See what happens. If you go into a courtroom and start running your lips, I'll tell you what, your lips is going to get you put in, what is that called? When you put it in, where they put you in jail for the court, contempt.
Of course.
So, I mean, there's got to be rules. But the thing is, all those people that are sitting on their hands, you got to look at them. 99.9% of them never joined the military. They've never really been through anything in their life. They never learned to struggle. They don't know how to go paycheck to paycheck. And Lord forbid if their bank account shut down now, they wouldn't know how to peel the squirrel to eat it. So I mean, this is, you got to look at the caliber of people. Right now, we need to get more folks in positions to where they are more like you, the voter. You yourself, have they walking the same beaten path? Most of those people don't know nothing about that. Look at Jasmine Crockett. I hate to talk about her, but she went to private school, okay? She got all that liposuction. She got that weight loss deal. She got the skin tuck, all that other stuff, got the BBLs and all that other. Oh, you're checking. I wonder if that came from taxpayer money.
He brought up the BBL.
Yeah, got all of that. And you get nastier. But I tell you what, there's a couple of women that I know, and I know there's one on here that can go on and go back and forth with her, no problem, and she'll probably back down and tuck her tail and run away. I know there's a person on here that can go back with her, no problem. But some people just got to be humble, and she's just not a very good representative for her area. She hasn't been able to pass no laws, and I'm just more mad at her. You can't get upset at me responding the way that I am, because you talked about my son. My son and I, we don't bother nobody. We took a bad situation and turned it into something good, and we didn't know it was going to help everybody out in the manner that it did. And who knew that me picking him up and him getting this Secret Service deal, which we didn't know anything about, and giving a hug to Mr. Curran and everything was going to turn into something spectacular like this, So one monkey don't stop no show. We just going to keep on rolling. However, since this wasn't political, and they want to go, I got to give them a little piece of history, since the Department of Education wasn't teaching history, so history's mysteries to these new kids. Well, let me tell you like this. When this country was founded, it was founded by people like yourselves, just having a conversation. We stepped out and said, we're going to do something about it. Well, I'm a regular guy. I've been beaten like a dog. I done weathered the storm. I done been broken and forged in the fire twice. Since you want to sit there and act a fool, and you act like you can't change, I might just go on and jump into the ring. So I'm going to end up running for something now. So you just know that I'm coming.
Hold up. He just segued into that big announcement that I was talking about. So guys, listen, this is what just happened, because he glanced over it real quick. But Theotis Daniel's agent, DJ Daniel's dad, that's what your slogan need to be. He needs to be your campaign manager. Theotis is now going to be running for office in Texas. So are you going to be going up against Jasmine Crockett? Well,
tell her this way, don't sleep too comfortably, because I'm telling you, I'm going to be like Freddy Krueger in the nightmares. I could be. I don't know. I don't want to spoil that. I don't want to spoil that little surprise I have. I just don't know where I'm going to be.
You gotta know you're talking to somebody from the South. They got a million euphemisms. I couldn't count how many little things he just said. That I love that stuff. I got family from Kentucky and people in Texas. You guys got a very colorful way of describing things, man. I absolutely love it. And we're going to see, I assume we're going to see Michaelah Montgomery going down to Texas, holding rallies and speaking on behalf of Theotis and DJ. Is that something that we can expect?
It's very possible. We can work out the logistics, but if we can make it work, I definitely would not mind.
Well, I'll tell you what, anybody who Michaelah Montgomery is campaigning for is going to have a big leg up, because she's got the fire. And, if you got her on your side, and I'm excited for this, because, we got to work out the logistics at some point, but, I'm excited for this. Michaelah going down.
I will come down. I'll be there.
Okay.
I promise you, I will. I love coming to Texas anyway. I got the best barbecue. But
hey,
I definitely
Brisket
breaking up.
right. I got you. I got a brisket or two for you.
Oh, that's my. You know,
Brisket's my favorite.
I have, ask Maurice. I have 5 smokers in my backyard. I got brisket down to a science, depending on how you want it. I got 5 different ones. I want to play for everybody this quick little clip, though. I got to, because you got to understand how nasty the Democrat Party is that they would do this. Because it seems as though they hate Trump so much they were willing to take aim at a child. And when I tell you they did, and it just don't do it justice. Listen to what they did.
It was so effective, right? But then you had people arguing, okay, this was race baiting. This little black boy shouldn't have been used as a prop. And I'm like, are y'all
He's black?
I don't, whatever. He's a person of color,
No,
obviously.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know his exact
African American.
ethnicity. But when I saw that,
his head was nappy.
His head was not nappy at all. It wasn't. He was black.
The dad,
You think he was black? His dad was black. His dad was holding him up. I don't know if that was his dad, but yeah, it
Not
seemed
the
like that was
dad.
his
That
dad.
was
I just don't think little boy was black. His dad wasn't nappy. I mean, it was patchy, but it wasn't nappy.
See, that's what I mean right there. That's why you need to go arrest him, DJ. That's exactly why you need to go arrest him. That's why Charlemagne got world starred and chased into the damn building. I should play that clip. These people are so disgusting, but whenever they're faced with someone directly, I want just to tell you how much of a man he's not, because there have been times when people that he talked about like that have showed up on his show and his whole demeanor changed. When Baby walked into the room and confronted him on some things that he said, Charlemagne looked like he was going to wet the bed. Just go look at that clip when he got chased into the building by the dude who tried to run up on him. He feels comfortable talking about a kid, but I bet you he would feel really bad if your dad walked into the room with him. He would feel real uncomfortable. These people are not, they ain't tough. Is
that something you'd be willing to do, Theotis, is going on his show and actually asking him directly, like, hey, I'm going to be running for Congress, not just because you guys came after me, but you want to be a representative of the people, but being able to confront him like that, because there's been a pattern of the Democrats going after kids, and well, basically anybody, and then sometimes they'll go after kids for no reason. From the outside looking in, it looks like no good reason at all. It's just that they decide that you're on the opposite of the political aisle than they are, and so they're more than willing to bash you for it. But would you be willing to go on his show?
I'll be more than willing to go on the show and be extra respectful. If you want to get nice and nasty, we can be nice, nasty, and professional. It's not a problem. But I like my fish wet and squirmy anyway. So if he want to go ahead and have a dialogue with me, we can. And if he'd like to apologize, we'll accept it. But we got to learn how to put our differences aside to sit there and get some things ironed out for the betterment of the people, because everyone's influential at this point, and anything that we do negative or positive, people are looking at that and they're going to respond to it. So we just got to be mindful of certain ways that we handle situations. But yeah, I'll be more than willing to. I'd even sit down with Jasmine Crockett if she can get the same what can I say, the same courage and the confidence to sit there and make those comments about him. I mean, we can sit down. I ain't gonna be mad at her. I just want you to explain to us what happened, and then if she want to apologize behind closed doors, so be it. Take a picture, and we're good, and we can go on about our business. But other than that, we don't need to keep dragging this out. We got other stuff that we need to be dealing with. We got crime going on. It went overboard now. You're gonna sit there and compare. Down in Texas, we got a wild hog problem. The wild hog's out of control, and the criminal and the crime is out of control. It's like we don't know what to do here. Do either go after the hogs or go after criminals. We don't know what to do, And then you got people over here taking money, earning a paycheck for something they're not even doing their job for. That's called stealing. From where I come from, you either work and show results, or you just don't get paid, or you lose your job. Simple as that. And these people have just been comfortable sucking into resources, sucking the well dry and not producing nothing. You can't be a congressman for 2 years and not produce one law. I mean, you could have got a law sitting over saying, "Oh well, we're going to come up with this resolution about saving earthworms." You could come up with something, but you just still taking paycheck for nothing. We could put somebody else there that's going to produce.
Yeah, I mean, we went through this before. Me and Maurice were even talking about it before we came on. The Democrat and the left have always been all too comfortable going after kids and being hypocrites. We had a situation we dealt with a little over a year ago now with Holden Armenta, and I got the picture somewhere right here. So Holden Armenta and his family, as you see in that picture, there was a reporter named Karen Phillips from what was that publication?
Deadspin.
Yeah, Deadspin. So everybody remembers a kid had his face painted half red, half black. And this, what we like to refer to as Black Karen Phillips of the Deadspin, went and took a picture of one side of this little 9-year-old's face and then tried to say the kid showed up to the football game in blackface. And it wasn't true. He was wearing his team colors. And then tried to say he culturally appropriated the headdress. But his grandfather was the chief of the Chumash tribe in California. So they stepped in it. And our viewers went bananas. We started this fundraiser with Maurice's brainchild. And we just picked the ball up and ran with it. And we sent the kid to the Super Bowl. And I don't know how many times did that podcast get seen after they scraped it anyway, but it got seen. It went out like 10, 15 million times somewhere in crazy.
I think it got up to 18 million times, or 18 million views. But the Democrats, the Democrats on the left have no problem going after kids, and now they've basically shown a consistent pattern. When you look at Nicholas Sandmann, when you look at Holden Armenta, we were able to. Thank God we were able to turn that around and get him and his dad to the Super Bowl. They're great people, by the way, fantastic people. And I kind of get that same energy from you, Theotis, in the way that you stand up for your DJ there. But I know that you're not really. Obviously, I think you'd be running as a Republican, but it seems to me that you come across a little bit more like just a patriot of this great nation. Someone who. Is not oppressed or doesn't believe that they're oppressed because of the race or your skin color yourself. I mean, how do you feel about being a representative now that you announced that you're running for office? How do you feel about that topic in general? I mean, is that just something that we just need to overlook entirely, or should you be able to point it out? Because I know Michaelah's talked about this, quite a bit, but how do you feel coming out to be a representative? And as far as the Democrats talking about race all the time, is that going to be a big component of it, or are you just going to move past it?
No, I can't. I'm gonna be talking about everything. But I tell you what, I'm their huckleberry. I am the man of your dreams. I'm your dreamboat. I'm telling you right now, that God didn't make me suffer through a lot of things to get me to this point in my life, but I just know how to handle certain things. But those Democrats that go after children, you have to understand they're bullies themselves. They got low self-esteem. They're not confident with themselves, and they got to come to a Jesus moment for themselves. They got to get there someday. You ain't gonna have it now, but you're gonna get it sooner or later. Trust me. Now, they usually after the kids.
I'm sorry. I know that Michaelah has to get out of here. She has a hard stop, guys.
Oh.
So I want to make sure.
I was trying to wait till I got a little break, but I wanted to say thank you guys for having me. Eddie, make sure you connect me and Theotis.
I definitely will.
Be the last time that we talk. Maurice, it was lovely to see you again, and talk again. My fave. And so, yes, I'll be back, you guys, soon enough. But yes, I got to get out of here and join on my next one.
There it is.
Okay. How you doing? So yes, so good to see you guys.
I miss you.
I miss you guys too. We'll all get together again soon. But yes, I got 6 minutes to get to my next one. So I will see everybody later. I can't wait to see how the rest of this show goes. Thank you guys again. DJ, sending you all my love. Mwah, mwah,
and
mwah.
you let Byron Donalds know he's next. We need him on
definitely.
PPN. We need
definitely. We'll get Byron in the building. But thank you guys for having me. I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Thank you, Michaelah.
Thank you.
I have known that girl since she was like 7 years old. And one of these days I'm going to have her on and I'm going to put some of them old school play pictures up there where she's dressed like a jalapeno pepper and some of and just embarrass her a little bit. You know, her and my daughter were the closest of close coming up. And it's really cool to see her grow into the woman that she is. And she is a force to be reckoned with. I have seen her in action in enemy territory, and the girl can just spar. She has her debate skills are. I was blown away. I was blown away when I saw her in action live. She went into the den of wolves on a late night talk show on BET, and I mean, when I say enemy territory, she was there with I forget who it was, rapper wise. It wasn't Jadakiss. It was, Young Jock. And I mean, it was just a whole host of people. And she was the only one holding her political position and unwavering and won every single debate point. And it was just masterful. And you saw her on MSNBC. She's definitely going to run for office in her future.
Well, I think one of the best parts is that she's genuine and she's honest. She's very, very upfront. And Theotis, I think that's the energy I've gotten from you so far. And as far as like why you want to run for office, and is that you have this genuine calling. And you know, getting into politics is a dirty game, man. It's a dirty game.
For sure.
Do you have any fears or anything? Jumping into this ring.
Look, when I was born, I was born at 3 pounds, and I was struggling to stay here, and I got here, right. Then when my dad was stationed in Korea, I only knew English, and then I came over here when I was 8 years old, and I had to learn how to speak English on my own. Okay, and then all of a sudden, my son gets cancer. There's nothing I don't really care at this point. At this point, there's nothing that you can do or say to me that's going to hurt my feelings. If it makes you feel better, knock yourself out. I don't care what you got to do. If that's what's going to make your day, go ahead. I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, you have to, put it this way. If you never, ever done anything in your life, but sitting there trying to be perfect, then why are you sitting over trying to do something else with somebody else? You never know. You never made a mistake. You never made no faults. You never got a scarred knee. You're telling me that you've been perfect all your life? No, you're the person that we don't want because you're lying to everybody. I don't care if you're 2 years old. You stole a piece of candy before in your life, and you can't even admit that. Okay? Everybody that's here, that's going to be something positive, everybody, and being an influence, you have gone through something to get somewhere. Mm-hmm. Literally from the point 10 years ago to here, you've actually gone a little bit further. You've gotten a little older. You've gotten a little wiser. You've gotten a lot more smarter. So these people are delusional, swearing to God they've never done nothing. I don't know. There's only one person that I knew that was in the Bible that was perfect, and they don't look like it. So
yeah. I mean, and listen, we wear our mistakes of our past on our sleeves like a badge of honor to show the contrast between who we were and who we are. I did a lot of prison time in my life, and I'm on the other side of that now. I'm a completely different person. I'm definitely a force for good. I'm a force for God. And I mean, anyone who's watched me over the last 4 years podcasting and seen the highlights of the things that I've done has to absolutely know that. And and hopefully I'm one of those people on Donald Trump's desk that get that little paperwork because I want to go hunting again. I'm just putting that out there in the universe. But it's so good to see regular people. We had that talk, Theotis, that and I encourage people all the time to run for office because the regular person that is out here that cares about the grocery prices, the cost of energy, just the cost of goods in general, and knows what it is to struggle. That's the person who needs to run for office. Because if not, what happens is the Democrats and or the wrong Republicans, they pick people to run for these offices and they're chosen. So what she was talking about earlier about the Department of Education going away, one of the biggest benefits I see in that is now we get to hold our local representatives accountable directly for the education of our children. They can no longer say, well, it's not my fault. We have a Department of Education and these are the laws that they lay down. We're just following them. No, now we get to say, no, we voted for you. You're doing this. It's your fault on a state level. And that is extremely, extremely important. But I want to hear from DJ for a second. And I want to hear some things. DJ, what now? You're an agent, right? What do you want to accomplish as an agent? We saw the moment with Donald Trump. We saw the moment with your White House, the interview out in front of the White House. You have been on multiple shows. You've been everywhere. What has been your favorite part of all of this?
Mostly going to see Mr. Trump, but I was not expecting him for me to give me that badge. I ain't gonna lie. As soon as he said my name, and my eyes went.
Yeah, we saw.
Oh, and
we saw.
I swear, for Jasmine Crockett, she can't be talking about my head. Her head looked like a burnt marshmallow. I'm just gonna be honest with you. She's talking about mine, that it's all patchy and all that. But your head looked like it been in the oven. Burnt turkey. I'm just saying.
You know, it was an amazing moment. I remember watching that speech, and I saw that, and I thought, and I'm not one that's. I looked at you like as if you were my son in that moment, and I'm sure that's how most Americans looked at it. Like, wow, this is something that's so cool for him to do. And we saw the look on your face, and then I saw you hug the head of the Secret Service in that moment. So it must have meant that much to you to get that badge. Do you have the badge with you right there? Can we see the badge?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's see that badge.
1 second.
Do you know how many badges have you gotten now? Do you know by any chance?
914. And can 14. I say something?
Yeah, you can say anything, man.
Can I say
your
something?
Moment, brother?
I want my dad to run against somebody. I want my dad to run against somebody. I mean, he's done something good for me, so I want him to do something good for everybody around the world. And here's the badge, by the way.
There it is. So what is your message for people, and why should they vote for your dad, buddy?
Well, mostly because he's a very nice guy. He hasn't been mean to anybody, and he hasn't bullied anybody about their head like Jasmine Crockett. I'm just going to keep it real. And he's a veteran.
Okay.
You know, I'm only 13 years old, but I'm talking like I'm 25 years old. Because really and truly, I'm a 50-year-old stuck in a 13-year-old body.
We heard that. That's what we heard.
And if you mess with me, you're going to mess with my dad. And I'm pretty sure you don't want those mucho problemos because this dude does not play at all. I got another one to show you.
Oh, not you guys using that to get out of any traffic tickets?
Pretty much.
You know, it's I love these moments. We've been doing this podcast thing for a while, and we have had a lot of guests on here, but this is awesome, man. This is really, really cool to see so much community around you, around your father. And we are so blessed, and just we can't thank you enough. And I know we have one more surprise here, Maurice. Do you know what the timing is on that?
He's about 15 minutes out.
All right, so we got
yeah.
We got more than 15 minutes of conversation, but I'm gonna take a second here and actually show everybody that moment that DJ was talking about when he got to meet Mr. Trump.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right?
Yes, it was.
That was a big evening. What a good-looking family.
Wow.
Huh?
I got for you a big hug.
Okay, good.
That's so cool.
Very nice. Look at that family you got, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right?
Yes, it was.
That was a big evening.
So you got to go into the Oval Office. You got the resolute desk. Do you understand how blessed you are, young man? A lot of people wish that they would get to go. I've been in the White House multiple times. That's where I'm from. I'm from right there, that Baltimore City, Washington, D.C. area. I grew up there. But I have never been in the Oval Office, and I would love to go into the Oval Office. And we've been in the same room with Donald Trump many times, but we never got to have like a direct conversation with the guy. So you are very blessed, very, very blessed. Now, what does DJ want to do when he grows up? Tell us a little bit about your plans from here on out, buddy.
Well, as I get older, I do want to help the homeless.
Okay. Okay.
And I know some half of the homeless don't want to leave, but for half of them, I'm not sure if I'm gonna still do this though. And mostly getting my badge.
You want to get them a badge too? What they going to be in charge of?
I haven't thought that. They're gonna be in charge of being my bodyguards, but I'm not sure about that because I already got one.
You got your bodyguard, you got your father, huh? It's a good bodyguard to have. Well, you got two more. You got me and Maurice. We'll definitely take that mantle. The whole PPN is on your side, brother. Every single one of us, and America is on your side. I mean, the people in our chat over here are going bananas, man. I can't say that's a bad word, but DJ is awesome. I mean, you're making people laugh, and you got the endorsement of Michaelah Montgomery, and you're just, it was just so heartwarming, that moment when Donald Trump says that he's going to make you an honorary agent, and the look on your face, that look of surprise and shock and awe. And you know what did it for me? I mean, the moment that literally almost made me tear up for real, it was when you reached over and gave the hug to the Secret Service agent. You couldn't contain yourself. You had to hug him. And that was special. And I looked over on the left side of the auditorium, and I saw one lonely Democrat, right? And I'm just going to be fair. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. We keep saying the whole left didn't clap and all that, but that's not exactly true. There was one person over there, a female, with a purplish pink jacket or something on, and she was standing by herself. Well, I was going to ask you who that was.
It was Congressman Gillum. She's from Long Island.
And she was the only one with enough guts to break rank and stand up and clap.
Wow.
Now, that was I'll give credit where credit is due. This was a non-political moment. This isn't anything to do with Trump. This was everything to do with DJ. But you guys had a hard road getting here because DJ was, and we're going to talk about this real quick too. DJ had a wish that he was supposed to be honored with by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And we talked about this, and we've heard since the whole advent of COVID and all this that there were people who were denied their wishes because they didn't have the vaccine. They didn't get vaccinated. But I was blown away to hear that you guys were amongst that crowd. So tell us that story a little bit about Make-A-Woke Foundation.
Well, what happened was when we went down there to the office off of 59 there in Houston, we sat there. He did all the paperwork and all that other stuff, and we were supposed to be waiting for his wish to be given. Then all of a sudden, then they come up with, well, everybody has to be vaccinated and up to date on their boosts and stuff. Now, why don't you tell them why you didn't want it? Why you didn't want the COVID shot?
Because I literally searched up everything, and I said it said for my Pacific cancer that a lot of kids have passed away from that. I said I ain't trying to die today.
So we didn't. I told him just pretty much take that wish and shove it up the rear end to a bullheaded north on the south end. That's what I told them, and I'm sure they can sit there in the corner and figure out what I meant by that. But we don't want your wish. Okay, so you could take it. I've made it happen all this time. We don't care. So they were calling me and all. They even called the doctors and try to convince me to do it, and I wouldn't do it for nothing. And so we went. It was 2 years later, 2.5, maybe about 2.5 years or so later. I get a phone call on my phone from, this is so and so from Make-A-Wish. We're just wondering, has DJ ever got his Make-A-Wish? I said, lady, I'm glad he's still living. You waited 2 years and gambled with my kid's life to come over and give him a Make-A-Wish. Now we were like, okay, well then we'll take you. He still said okay. But here comes another thing. Well, it's within our policy, even though the flight restrictions and the bans were taken off for the COVID restrictions. It's our policy that if you haven't been vaccinated, then we can't fly you. So I literally had to drive my truck, ticking and smoking down the freeway all the way to Key West with some 33.5 tires on there. I don't know how we made it, but we prayed that truck. Couldn't believe that truck made it, but we made it smoking and all, looking like those. What's the name of that show? I forgot anyway.
Ice Road Truckers.
I mean,
Trailer Park Boys.
No, Beverly Hills. The Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah.
Like, and we didn't even get a warm reception. There was no balloons, no signs, nothing. Hell, we got lost, couldn't find the place, and it was just a big fat mess. It was just too much for us. And I was like, nah, I'll never do this ever again. But other than that, we try to make the best out of it. I wish it could have been a better experience, but nobody's going to force us to sit there and take something, submit to your will just because you're going to throw a couple dollars at me. We're not in a strip club. You don't have to make it rain on top of us to get us to do anything. We don't care about no money. Money did not get us this far. Money's the last thing we worried about. Yeah, we are rich. We might not have money, but we're rich in faith. I tell you that much. And it got us this far. That's simple as that.
Tell us a little bit about your faith. You say you're rich in faith. What has prayer? What has prayer and your faith in God? What has that done in your darkest moments? DJ, they said DJ had at one point a very short time to live, and that was what 5-6 years ago.
Yes,
and now, and this is 5 years later. So, what has God done for you, and what impact does He have on your life?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a believer, but you know how you have fair weather friends and you have true friends. Like fair weather friends will tell you what you want to hear, and true friends tell you the stuff that you need to hear, even if it hurts your feelings. So
that's right.
I was a fair weather believer. Again, I'd only come and pray when I feel like something's getting a little sticky situation for me or everybody else. But being that I've been on this journey with him and things of that nature, I mean, I've gotten so much closer to God and things. I mean, I don't worry about nothing. I just let it, my dad used to sing this song, whatever will be, will be. And so I just let it be what it is. Because you know, if I'm gonna believe in something, you don't question it. Once you sit there and you put it out there, you don't keep asking God, why are you gonna answer my prayer? He gonna take forever. He gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna let him squirm like a worm on a hot sidewalk. It's just wiggling all over the place. And so, you know, like I say, nowadays, everything I do, I mean, prayer is better in numbers too. Because when I talked to some older ladies about what was going on with Devarjaye, they started reaching out to all denominations, and they had a prayer warrior deal going on, and everybody from every denomination you can think about from all over the world got together, started praying, and look at him, he's still here. You know, you gotta stay positive. You just because you're having a sucky day don't mean it's a sucky day. You know, if you accept it, yeah, it will. But we weren't gonna accept this cancer taking him out in 5 months. I wasn't trying to hear it. I was not trying to understand English at that point. I was like, nope. Well, we're gonna well, we can't do nothing about it. We might as well make the best out of it. And that's pretty much what I decided to do with him.
Has watching your son go through this taught you anything as a father?
It taught me a lot. You know, it taught me how to be more patient. Like I said, the bring back the faith situation. You know, I'm more faithful. I believe everything is good. I believe that, you know, we're not the only ones going through it. So I can't be sitting over getting mad at other people because I'm going through with my son with cancer. And I know that there's a lot of good people out there. You know, family don't make you blood, okay? So people that we've met along the way, they have been the best family members I ever had in my life. You know, they've taken us in, helped us out, and got us through things. So, you know, we can come together in a time of need when it doesn't have to be about somebody dying or something tragic or something happening. We can come together in great moments like this, you know?
Hey, DJ, how has your father kind of played on your positivity going through this? Because I've heard a lot about how strong you've been, and I know this. I mean, not the exact same. I went through cancer when I was a kid as well. I was a little bit older. I was 14, but how does your father help you out when you're feeling down and you're kind of struggling to get through it? How does your father help you out?
Well, to be honest, he he still he still beats on me. He keeps
Hey,
he doesn't like me being in the house because that just doesn't make no sense to keep a terminal ill child in the house. That's just gonna make them go more ill, and then they're gonna be sick again. So that just don't make no sense to me. But my dad has helped me because he saved my life.
Wow.
It's the only thing I want for Christmas is my dad.
Ooh, dude.
I love to hear that, man. And
Oh my God.
you know, in all reality, I think that's probably one of the best things that he could have done for you is continue to be a father, a strong father figure like that, you know, and make you pull yourself up even when you're feeling down. And I mean, that's so cool to hear because you know, I got 2 kids of my own, and you know, I've never been on that end of it, you know, with Theotis, what he's gone through. But I mean, how are you feeling these days, DJ? How's everything going, I guess?
Great.
All right. You know, I'll take that answer, man. That's the best thing to hear. It's going great. God is good. Life is great. And you're getting sworn in. And I mean, you said you have 14 badges now?
914.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought you just said 14. 914. What are you going to do when you hit that 1,000 mark?
He is the most decorated officer in history. Like, no, this has got to be like a world record. It has to be. Ain't nobody got 914 badges.
Well, he's got that. He's got approximately 15 keys to cities. He's got hundreds of proclamated days. He's got, I don't know, a whole bunch of flags that was flown over the capitals in his name. I mean, you name it, he's done it. He's got international. He's got 6 international swear-ins too from different countries. And then the thousands pretty much run over now. St. Louis already called me and said they've got over 110 10 already that they're gonna do in a few weeks here. So they said maybe about 140, 150 is going to be the record agencies at one time that's going to swear him in.
Wow, that is incredible. Is there anything big that you want to do once you surpass 1,000, or is that just going to be, is that just another number? Are you going to keep on collecting?
I'm just gonna keep on collecting. But once I hit that 1,000, I just thought about it. Why don't we just have a big old party with all the police departments that swore me in?
Hey man, that'd be.
And just to let you know, until my gas tank run out. You know what that means?
Huh?
That's when God calls you home. That's when God calls you home. When you graduate the school of life.
That's profound for a 13-year-old. Now, what do you have to say about other kids that are going through what you're going through? What's your message to them?
Stay positive. Listen to your family. Listen to your parents. Stay in the house. Don't go away from home. And stay out of trouble. And pray.
Pray. How important has prayer been to you, DJ?
Very good.
It's very, very important. Now I see you travel with your dad a lot, so you and him.
Because I got 3 more tumors in my head, but I don't care.
Yeah. 3 more tumors. So do we have any certain more further surgeries and that sort of thing planned for DJ Theotis?
No, they're just right now the doctors are learning everything off of him, because I mean he's beaten all the medical results that they've had before in the past, considering he is the research and the patient study that was he was utilized to have a medicine approved through FDA. So I've got the case report on him and the publication to Precision Oncology. So you're looking at the patient that they're actually using for that. So
wow,
we're just winging it. They do have another experimental medicine, but they don't want to switch him just yet unless this one starts really starting to get out of control, because he has cancer all the way down to from his head all over his brain, down his neck, through his spine, underneath the spine to his tailbone. So that's why if people watch him try to tie his shoes, he can't really bend all the way down to tie his shoes. He can't do it anymore, but he doesn't complain. He's at advanced stages of cataracts. They redid his eyeballs and everything.
Amazing.
And then here
still positive like that.
So this is that Breakfast Club was talking about. This is the patchiness that they had talking. You see how this looks? I just want to make that clear for them. This is the patchiness. This is what happened when you have this part cut open 13 times. This is what it looks like. Then you turn here, his skin turns dark. It's a cycle where his skin starts turning dark and scab and peel off from where the burn is. And then on this side, he's got a valve here, a little thing, and they got a hose going all the way down into his stomach. So, I mean, he's definitely doing his thing. I'll tell you what, he's better than me. I would have gave up a long time ago. I ain't gonna lie to him. Oh Lord, I can't take it. But he's definitely a strong little cookie, isn't he?
An inspiration. I've been through a lot in life, and never anything to the level that he has. And I was not as positive as he is. It took some time for God to work on my heart for me to be able to get to a point where I wanted to get up and move again and do things again. I went through a terrible depression, and it fills me with so much hope and joy to see that he is stronger than any adult I've ever met in my life for the things that he's gone through. And here's the thing. We can't do much in the way of finances. I mean, we are one of the bigger podcasts, but we're not at the monetary level that some of these other people that are literally our size are. But what we can do, and we've done this before, is we we've set up fundraisers to help people in, for the things that they want to do. And I set up one for you and DJ to help you get from where you are to where you want to be, to help hold events and get Michaelah down to talk at your events and all that. I expect that if the national news doesn't pick this story up, they're crazy, because what has happened is the left woke a sleeping giant, and now you're getting ready to enter the political arena and prove exactly, you just you being there is going to highlight how hateful they are. And they're not going to be able to say anything terrible against you. And we talked about this, because everything they say against you is going to reflect terribly on them. Because of what you are fighting for and what you've been through. And we want to do that. So I'm also going to create a website for you for your campaign. And we'll call it votefortheo.com. I'll set all of that up. I'll do it all for you. I'll set up your social media and get the graphics and all of that done. I'm going to do everything I can to give you the launching pad from where you are now to where you want to be. And you can consider us the official Vote for DJ's Dad podcast network. That's what it is right there. So I just set up the fundraiser, and so it's just GiveSendGo, GiveSendGo.com, and it's DJ's Dad, GiveSendGo.com/DJ's Dad. And so for anybody that wants to see this dream realized, that wants to see a regular everyday American get into office and actually fight back against the woke left, the hatred, the just divisiveness, and actually be a force for good, we need you guys all to get behind Theotis and go to GiveSendGo.com/DJ's Dad and do whatever you can. We're going to use that, and we're going to have Michaelah come down there. Shortly, here in a few minutes, we're going to have Tom MacDonald come on and talk to DJ and Theotis, and that's going to be huge. That is going to be huge. And Tom just dropped a brand new video called "You Can't Cancel All of Us." And Maurice was honored to be able to star in that video.
Oh, I don't know about star. I
was being nice. He made he got a cameo. Right,
yeah,
he got a little cameo in there.
My wife and I,
yeah, that's right. Lady Patriot was right there by his side, and that was really cool to see. And guys, we're so glad to be able to be in a position, because we can't give you nothing but press, and we can help you every step of the way. And that's exactly what we are going to do. So, Theotis, I would offer you the opportunity to come on the show with me once a week if you want to, and let's tackle the ongoing headlines and topics, and I'll give you a chance to consistently air out how you would handle these things, and let's talk about it, and let's get into the nitty-gritty of what happened with Jasmine Crockett and these people, and let people know where you stand. We're just going to give you a platform to let you do that. Okay, and there's going to be thousands of people watching. We're almost at 5,000 right now. And I guarantee you, when people find out what was said in this show and the things that happened in this show, that it's going to go a lot further than this, because what we just saw, we're getting ready to see history in the making. And your son done broke my heart about 4 times. All he wants for Christmas is his dad. I mean, bro, that I had to choke back but with that said, I want people to see that moment when Trump made him an honorary agent. And let's just relive that for a second.
DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
He about broke his rib cage. That was a tight hug.
DJ, we're going to do you.
Man, that is so. That is a moment that is going to live on in history, brother. That was so powerful to see. And then,
oh,
that's the hat right there.
I got to get me a Stetson, man. Y'all making me jealous.
Yeah. But you know, if I could say something, and they District 18 seat that just opened because Congressman ex-Mayor Houston, Mayor Turner died, and there's 2 consecutive Congress folks that was in there that graduated from life in their full capacity in that position. Now, this is my better opinion since I've been dealing with Devarjaye a long time, and I was telling you that I've come to agree with a lot of things that God does in mysterious ways, but I'm thinking God's sending a message. Everything down here for a message. We're in the classroom. We're supposed to learn things. But I think that he's presenting a message for the Honorable Greg Abbott to go ahead and appoint somebody in that position so that way that he can break the cycle of the craziness that's going on over there, because those folks in Harris County and their district and their fellow Texans deserve a lot better than what they've been getting all this time. Mm-hmm. And so, I think it's time, like I said, for him to break the cycle and appoint somebody there. And if he does, I'd like to throw my name in there. And if he does, pick whoever there, I myself can speak for myself. I won't embarrass him, but you want somebody in there that's of the people, that can represent the people properly and make the best decisions. Just like my son, I make the best decisions for what's going to be in the best interest of him, and I do the same with everyone else there in Houston or whatever position I decide to jump in for. But like I said, the 18th district, my prayers to the Honorable Greg Abbott to go ahead and appoint somebody there for the time being, so that way they can break up the circle of the lunacy down in Harris County.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I know you just said it, but I'll throw you on the big screen right now. You up there solo. Plead your case right now to Greg Abbott, and let's see if we can't get this video in his direction. Make your campaign case right now to Greg Abbott, why he should put you in that position and make it known that's what you want to do.
Well, sir, for one, I'm a veteran. I'm a proud American. I'm a proud Texan. I don't sell my soul to the devil. I don't take no underhanded deals. I don't take no pad in my pockets. Money's not going to sit there and make me do anything that a person wouldn't ask their own mama to do. I do what's in the best interest of the people and self. I'm still obligated under oath that I swore in when I joined the military, and that's what I do. I stand on what I say, and like I said, do what's in the best interest of the people. And you gotta make progress. You can't just sit around on your hands and then jump up once in a while to make it look good. You gotta be, if you're gonna be in the position, you gotta earn your check. So I don't even want the money. I get my little money from the VA. I'm satisfied. That other paycheck, I don't see it anywhere. We could donate it off to somebody, different organizations if they want to, if that's going to help everybody out. But I'll show you better than I can tell you. It's never been about the money. I could care less about it. You can see it in my face. Money don't make me. It doesn't make me jump up and want to do anything harder. It's just the results is what I'm after, and that's all I want. When we go to the airports now, you used to see how many people run up and so excited and happy to just see us. And I step back from the crowd a little bit and just look at it and close my eyes for about 3 seconds and just suck it all in. And I'm like, man, this is, all this suffering that we've been going through, this is worth it, because I hear all these smiles and bringing joy to people's lives and stuff. This is what it's all about. And I thank God every day for all the struggles and strife that He put me through. Because at the end of it, we went through the storm, and now we done made a breakthrough. And I'm definitely humbled about it. And I just want to continue doing great things and continue the business of serving and doing what's best for my long distance family members, which is everybody in the community.
That's awesome. And somebody asked a question a little earlier, whether or not you're on X. Concluding this podcast, I will be assisting Theotis in creating his official X page. And that's part of what I would tend to say that we are going to use anything given from that Give Send Go for, because we want to get his account verified, even at that level of someone who's actually going to be running for office. So there's a lot that's involved with this, guys, and you can help. This is your campaign. DJ is your son. He's my son. This country has to be ran by people that care. And I believe, and we've had several late night phone conversations, and I believe wholeheartedly that Theotis is going to be good for the country, good for his state, good for his people. And I just I'm going to do anything and everything in our power. And I'm sure that the people that follow this show, that are watching right now, that are going to share this, guys, if you haven't shared this, if you're on Rumble, we need to get this thing up the algorithm. Share it, like it. If you haven't followed us, follow us, but definitely comment, throw the thumbs up down there. Let's get this thing seen by everybody. Now, we were just contacted by Tom MacDonald, and unfortunately, he had a pressing engagement that kept him from being able to join us today. He said he'll make it up to us later this week, so we will be following this up with another broadcast where we're going to have Tom on, and we're going to connect Tom with DJ. That is going to happen. That's our promise. That's his promise. So we're going to definitely make that happen. And like I said, Theotis will have a present on X following this broadcast, because I'm going to create the whole thing. I'm going to create the web page. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to help him get his platform set up. So that's what PPN will do. Absolutely, every step of the way. Anything he needs. If he needs to fly down Michaelah and that, we're going to do everything we can to make that happen. Now, guys, before too long, I don't want to make our sponsors wait. We got to pay some bills real quick. So we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back after this. So, guys, check these guys out at shopwithamerica.us. Stop spending your money at Walmart and Amazon and the big box stores and then buying food and things like that. They're just going to poison you. They're terrible. Did you all see what's in the Girl Scout cookies just recently? Go to shopwithamerica.us today, and let's start making America healthy again, guys. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Shop with America, where the emphasis is on America. Our movement is to switch away from your shopping with the big box stores and the mega corporations back to supporting family-owned, made in America. We've been giving these big box stores our money every day for years. But what's happened is they've forced many small businesses to shut down. We call this the illusion of choice. We see all these products in these stores, but in reality, it's only a few companies that control it all. There are thousands of lawsuits for health damage because they put profit over our people. But there is another choice. We found a better way. There's a family-owned American factory with product integrity and have always done things the right way for the right reasons. And this company outperforms the big box stores. That's due to their month-to-month shopping club. They make everyday consumer products that we all use and buy again and again, like toothpaste, shampoo, coffee, and organic beef. Go to shopwithamerica.us today.
So that's what y'all need to do, is go to shopwithamerica.us today. And guys, we're not saying to go buy a specific product or anything like that. What we're asking you to do is replace the things that you already buy. Dish soap, dish detergent, bleach, whatever it is you buy around your house, you can buy it from them and help out American-made, American-owned businesses today. So do that today. And for everybody who wants to know what to follow Theo online, I'm creating that right now, and I believe. I hope he'll jump back in. I believe the X name for him will be Theo for Texas, Theo for TX, and that. So Theo, just so you know, that's what we're able to make it is Theo for TX. That's going to be your X name, and that's where people will be able to follow you. We're going to get you logged in, set up, show you how to do some things, and I'm just in the final stages of creating that account for you right now. So those people that want to follow you and hear your message, we are going to be able to help you get that done.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of things that I want to put out there as to how we can start fixing stuff, but I don't want to let everything out, because if I let too much out, they'll end up picking up on it and they'll capitalize on it, use it, and then don't do nothing with it. So I'm keeping a lot of stuff to myself, because I know those type of folks are very. I mean, think about it. A lot of folks that were loyal voters and things of that nature. You know, we've all been in a very toxic, gaslighting, manipulative relationship for a long time. You know, you get lied to, they get what they want. After they get what they want, they're looking at you like, you still standing, what do you need? Wait a minute, hold on, wait, I think you said he's gonna do something for us. I don't remember saying that. You know, people are just tired of him. They're not the ones out here suffering every day. You know, we slamming the potholes. You get a brand new car, you go out there, you slam into a pothole, now your suspension's messed up. You know, just too much going on, kids getting killed left and right. It's just criminals running bananas. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It don't make any sense. You know, you got mental health that you got to take care of. You got homeless veterans that need to be fixed on. You need to look out for your seniors. You got a lot of things going on, and they're just not doing it. It's a whole list of stuff. I got like a spiral full of stuff that we need to work on, a little at a time. But you know, we're like a little woodpecker, but eventually we can get down to it. But like I say, just, you know, I'm in it, and it's not like I'm sitting on. See, the thing is, some of those folks sit so high up on the hog, they forget the hog's feet is still in the mud. See, they totally forgot about that. But
I love the way you talk,
unfortunately,
man.
Are you like? Oh, okay. Everybody tell me that. Everybody say, where you come up with all this stuff? So I don't know. I just have to try to get people to understand where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? We don't want to look. Confusion creates chaos. Chaos creates casualties, and we don't need none of that. We don't need no confusion, and we don't need no chaos, confusion. We don't need no casualties. So we have what they call an understanding. We have compromise, but most people I don't know what's going on the other side. They just don't even know what that is. They're so spoiled and entitled, and they never worked for anything. That's why they act in the manner that they do. They don't understand the sacrifices of just rights in itself, or just women's rights in itself. And then you get in there, you act a fool, and you just kind of throw it all away because you never worked for nothing. Never, period.
What would I heard you say that earlier, like they never served or anything like that. Do you think that the people in this country, similar to what Israel does, Israel has people once they turn 18, they have to serve in the military in some capacity. Would you implement something like that in the United States? Do you believe in that approach?
I mean, I believe in it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, my mother's, you know, her brothers, you know, they're Korean, and they have to serve in the military. That was no option. I mean, a lot of places. I think if you want to sit there and run for an office or something of that nature that has to do with running this country, I think it should be something they're showing. Well, look, I served my country, or something.
So
not a piece of paper.
Skin in the game. Yeah, basically having some kind of skin in the game, whether it be military or they used to have bucket duty, right? You used to have to be a fireman. Basically, it was a you know, if you wanted to vote, you had to put in your time for your community, And I think we've really lost that as a country, whether it be for, military or, I don't know if they had ever done police officers, but yeah, I think it was called bucket duty back in the day. So, that's a very, very important part is actually, you know, having some skin in the game and serving your community and understanding that the relationship that you're supposed to have with your constituents is that you're going to act as a representative on behalf of your community, as opposed to going in with an agenda from all these donors and higher ups that have their own agenda completely separate from your own constituents. So I think that's a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah, and it's like most people got their ideology in their mind that anybody that's in politics, you look at majority of them, they're either a lawyer or something in that capacity, and that's just what it's got. But that's not a prerequisite for most of the positions anyway. So I can't sit here and talk bad about people getting their degrees and all that stuff. Okay, that's fine, but you have to realize that you're paying literally for your degree. And me, if I get somebody that wants to come, let's say me and another guy is going in for a job interview, and you have this other guy just graduated with a master's and all this other stuff, and I've got 15 years hands-on experience, but I don't have a degree. Who would you really hire first to sit there and take the job for you? A textbook, or do you want somebody that's got hands-on experience? I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I mean, I work hard. Look at my hands. You see my hands? Look at them. You see that?
I feel that, brother.
I work hard for mine. I used to go down the summertime, go down to Eagle Pass and cut watermelons and cantaloupes for the summertime just for fun. And that's a hard work. My dad's always had me working for everything. I don't care what it is. He said, you know what, man don't need no handout. And he said, a good book tell you so. So I follow it by the T. I don't judge nobody, but I get it done. I have no excuses why I can't get it done.
I have a feeling that the working man is going to be taking back over this country. It's kind of what it feels like. There's a lot of support for the working class and the men and women who have been living through and getting through the muck. Now wanting to join. So I'm excited for your run. I'm excited for everything coming down the road, and Michaelah, helping you guys out. That'll be really, really cool. But I do want to say before we get out of here, Theotis, that I'm honored to have you on the podcast. I'm sorry we couldn't get Tom here. It was just one of those unfortunate things where he unfortunately kind of double booked. And but he'll make it up to us. I'll schedule a time to get some FaceTime with DJ and Tom there. So that'll be coming up soon. But DJ, man, stay strong, man. You're an inspiration, and there's a lot of people out there praying for you. You guys, if you can, just put a prayer out for DJ. He's showing the strength and resilience that this country needs. So DJ, I'm proud to have you on as well. Thank you for coming on, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. You're great patriots of this country, and I love to support you. So anything we can do to help, just let us know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And, so what we're gonna do is, like I said, we'll create the website. I have created your X account. It's just Theotis for Texas is the name and
handle,
and TX for Texas is going to be the screen name. That was the one that was available. It's the best fit for what we had available. So guys, if you want to follow Theo, if you want to follow, you don't mind me calling you Theo. You ever get that nickname, Theo?
I get that a lot.
There it is. So definitely this is where you want to follow him on X. So go give him a follow on X, and we're going to be setting up everything else for him. So look out for the website. We will have them back on. We are going to give Theotis a platform and let him weigh in on some of the hot topics on Doge, on whatever is up for vote, or any legislation that you see coming down the pipe, and all of these different cultural things that we seem to be fighting. Because what we're fighting today is a culture war, and we have an entitled group of people in this country that don't want to work for things and believe it should be handed to them. And then we have people that are willing to work for it. And it seems that one class has been paying for the other one for too long. And like Heather said, right? Like Heather said earlier, yeah, she said you can't force people to serve, but there should be some capacity to which once you hit of legal age where you have to serve something for your community, for your country, whether it be military or in some capacity, we should have to give a certain amount of time and get skin in the game. I've always been a firm believer in that. So big firm believer in that whole concept. Theo, I want you to stick around and I'm going to walk you through setting all this up. And we're going to get your fundraiser out there, and we'll talk further with Michaelah about coming down and all the next steps that you're going to be take now that you've officially thrown that big hat of yours in the ring. And this is going to be historic, guys. This is going to be historic to see, because I have nothing but faith that he's going to win the race. And I have nothing but faith to know that your son is going to overcome his adversity. And DJ, before we get out of here, I'll be remiss not to give you another chance here to address the people. If you have a message for people, what would that be, DJ? Give people a good message, brother.
Stop being mean to people. Don't bully people about their heads and say it's patchy. Because I don't want you ending up in jail. And stay blessed. Always believe in God. And stay out of trouble.
That's it. That's it right there, brother. We appreciate you guys taking the time so much. And I can't, Maurice, put that better one back. There it is. Or I don't know which one it is that you had up. Thank you.
This one.
I'm gonna remember this particular podcast for a very long time. This has been one of the more moving, touching podcasts that Maurice and I have ever done together. And this is a podcast, guys, that started the movement, that started the ball rolling to get Theotis in office. And you guys all got to see it. There's a little over 6,000 people in here, not to mention however many are watching on Rumble. So we're asking you guys to spread this around. Clip this. Go back and find those moments in this podcast that touched you. Clip them. Put that content out. It's all going to go to help and further this cause and getting Theotis elected. And Maurice, do you got anything that you want to say before we move on?
God bless you guys.
Absolutely. And as I say at the end, Theotis, I'd be remiss if I didn't give you an opportunity as well to say something before we get out of here.
Well, just like Devarjaye said, stay blessed, praying, be positive all the time through anything. There's nothing that's going to be put on you more than you can bear. God bless America, God bless Texas, and God bless everyone.
God bless Texas. Sooner or later, I'm going to be a Texan. We have been eyeing Texas for a very long time. We got family down there, and we're eventually going to end up there. So I'd like to see the Patriot Prayer headquarters, get down there.
And last of all, God bless President Trump.
Absolutely. What would a President Trump endorsement mean to you at this point?
It'll be the same reaction we got when Devarjaye got the Secret Service. We just be speaking. We know what to do. I don't know. Like I say, people don't know. President Trump is very down to earth. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people don't like it, but that's a personal problem. But otherwise than that, he's a great person. great person, great president. You know, people not great to him because he's shaking up your comfortabilities. But hey, you got to get out there, be productive. You can't do it sitting on your hands. So, oh well,
Exactly
the days
right.
is over.
So a lot of what people think about President Trump, what they say, those aren't true. You have a lived experience that says something completely different. And I think most Americans that encounter him would agree with you. So, guys, thank you for joining us for the Patriot Prayer Podcast today. Also, go check out our new sponsor, Good Brew. That's good, GOODBRU.com/PPN. And Good Brew is a supplement you put in your coffee, and it helps with it's a probiotic and a prebiotic that gets in your system, helps with the digestion. They're standing with us, and by standing with them, you are helping us. Also, you will be able to go to theotisfortexas.com officially. I just bought the domain name. We're going to be putting that up, and follow him at TX for Texas. And you'll see the screen name Theotis for Texas when you get there. Give him a follow. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And as usual, the silent majority, you need to stop being silent and stand your ground. We'll see you next time on the Patriots Prayer.
Thank you.
My people of this country, and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough.
This is the Patriots Prayer Podcast. It's a tremendous show, one of the greatest shows in the history of the world.
This is Bryson Gray, and you are watching the Patriots Prayer.
PPN, you're doing the right thing.
On the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
PPN on your bumper.
I'm Tom MacDonald. This is the Patriot Prayers Network. Check it out. Lots of good TV, lots of cool people. Tune in. Keep it locked.
Know where I stand. I'm the white boy with the middle fingers in the air, dog. We don't give a what. 100 white boys gonna hold me down anywhere, dog. We think that you suck. My Patriots, the craziest. They ain't afraid of breaking fists on faces. If you really wanna taste of this, no safety tip. The same mistake and spray the clip. I pray you miss, cause if you don't, they gon' go wacko. Automatic gun smoke like tobacco. Never hit a lady, but it's pretty hard to tell if you're a girl or a they, them. There's these, that, those. I ain't never gonna take a knee for the anthem. Smack them. I don't give a damn, can't stand them. Gang full of randoms. Fan with a handgun. Run up in your mansion, leave it all abandoned. I was raised to be brave till the grave. United States, we love the country that they've been corrupting. Go woke and go broker if you ain't obeyed. My people of this country, and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flag.